It's that time of year, everybody. It is Champs time. Champs 2022 coming up in 2 weeks. I am your host with the most, Lawless, aka Anatics. I'm here with my boy, Sun K. We're here doing Champs predictions. Champs predictions. Now, we're not going to spoil it for you guys. We're not going to tell you who we're picking until the end of the video. Don't worry. But we do have the bracket here, and I have all the names written out for us to decide as a squad who we think's going to win. So, I guess, Sunke, introduce yourself.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Sun K, or I usually go by Zach, but that's about it. What's going on?
We love that. We love that.
Getting ready to prove you wrong on this fucking champs bracket.
I doubt it.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
That is crazy that you'd say something like that to me.
What do you mean? I'm always right.
All right, so let's talk first round.
Okay.
We watched a crazy bunch of different majors here. So Optic won the first one.
Mm.
Who won the second one? Was it
LAG.
LAG? And then Surge won the third one.
Yep.
Crazy. Couldn't believe that. You couldn't tell me that 3 years ago that Surge
No,
going to win something like that. And then, of course, my boys from LA, Thieves, snacking the fourth and last champs win there. I was really excited about that, honestly. Like I know I was excited. Anyway, all right, so let's get to it. So let's talk teams. Let's talk first round. We got first. We got FaZe versus Subliners. Sunke or Zach, I don't know which one we call you, either one. What do you think? I'll give you my opinion. You give me your opinion. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is a hard one to pick. Because recently FaZe has been on the up. Yes, I know they got third, but they've looked a little bit better considering the way they were going in like the first half of the season. But I honestly think Subliners are gonna win this one. If Subliners come out and they play their game, like I know they will, I think they're probably gonna take FaZe in a 3-2 fashion. It's probably gonna be Game 5.
All right, so you think that FaZe is going to take Subliners? Or no,
I think
you think
Subliners
Subliners
gonna
take
take
FaZe.
FaZe.
Sorry, I'm listening. I'm
Yeah.
just stupid. All right, I think, and this is what happened last year. So you remember we watched Surge eliminate FaZe last year on what Major 4, whatever major they had last.
Major
before?
5. Major 5.
Okay, so going into this, I'm thinking, okay, so Subliners could be that team. I mean, they played amazing in Major 4. I don't know how I feel about them beating FaZe. I think FaZe going to come out and gun the hell out of everybody because that's what they did at Champs last year. They came out there just, firing off like it's no one's business. I think FaZe takes it. I think FaZe takes it 3-1 or 3-2. I mean, Subliners have been doing great. But all it takes is Paco screwing up or, Krim not shooting back like he normally does. But you know what? For the fans, and for the fans, I'll say that Subliners will take. I think Subliners. I agree. I think Subliners will take FaZe. If they do, I'll be shocked. But we're gonna move Subliners down here. Subliners moves on. So if that means FaZe will move into the loose bracket round one. All right. So let's talk. Let's talk Ravens and Surge. Let me hear what you have to say about that.
Surge. Ravens do not show up on LAN at all.
Okay.
I know one event that I think they got third, but that was the only event. Everything else they've kind of faltered. Because they play their game online, but I feel like whenever they come to LAN, things are a bit different, and that makes them uncomfortable, and then that in turn makes them not really want to, not really a part of those top teams like we're used to seeing.
Okay.
So I think Surge will take this 3-1.
I'll second that. I think Surge will take this also 3-1.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and move Surge into there against Subliners, and we will move Ravens down to. I guess Ravens will end up playing in the second elimination round of the second part of the bracket. All right. So far we have Subliners and Surge moving on. All right. I know this is gonna be super biased, but Optic versus Ultra.
Okay, so from what we've seen of Optic, I know a lot of people don't particularly enjoy what they have seen. So I'm gonna quote one of the one of the greatest coaches in Call of Duty of all time, which is not really a lot to pick from. But Mr. Rambo, he says, to be a great team, you have to go through adversity to be that great team. And I think currently right now we have been going through some adversity, like with Illy, and then with ProLoot, and then it's like you're missing a big important puzzle piece of the squad for 2 months, and then you go to play a certain way 2 months, and then you come back, and then it's the system that you were introduced to, but you still got to get acclimated to that system. I think from what we have seen in Major Four, them going 1-4 in qualifiers and then making it top four. Yes, I know it was very close in the last game they played. Besides the FaZe one, the Ultra one, it came down to around 11 game 5. But I think they still have glimpses of that, and as long as Shotzi and Scump can be consistent, I think that they could take Ultra in a 3-1 fashion. But if they don't come out frying, like I know Optic usually do, because they're like a warm up team, I think it's going to be a 3-2 for Optic. So I'm just going to say, just my safe bet, I'm going to put 3-1 Optic over Ultra.
All right, so I personally, I like that. I think that's a good pick. I think Optic will beat Ultra too. I was gonna say the Optics. I feel like Kryptonite, other than Florida, has been Ultra. I mean, you talked about earlier, Bance taking down, winning those gunfights in Search and Destroy, and Optic's been kind of if and there on Search and Destroy all year. But I agree. I think Optic's gonna take Ultra out, so we're gonna move Optic down here. Ultra will have to play FaZe, right? Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so Ultra have to play FaZe, which that's gonna suck. And then so last but not least, I have nothing more to say about Optic. I think Optic, Optic picks. I agree with that 100%. I think Optic's gonna take 100% gonna take Ultra 3-1, 3-2. Even if it's 3-2, that's fine with me as long as they beat them. I don't care. All right, now I'll let you say your piece. Thieves versus Breach. Go ahead and tell me what you think.
Thieves 3-0. From what we saw of Thieves in Major 4, they looked phenomenal. And I'm going to be honest with you, they look perfect. Not really a lot that we could harp on. Yes, they did. They lost to FaZe. No, they beat FaZe. And then they lost to... Who did they lose to move down into the losers bracket?
New York.
New York? Okay, yeah, they lost to New York. And then, like, when you take a loss like that, like you're in winners finals and you take a loss like that, you sometimes get, like, you would think you would get demoralized. No, Thieves brought it back and they destroyed FaZe, and they came and won the final. Granted, Paco didn't play that well. Hydra didn't play that well, but I think from what we saw from, in my opinion, Kenny, because he's been, whenever he first switched to that sub role, he was decent, but he wasn't great like we had seen in this Major 4. I don't know what happened. I don't know what kind of practice they had beforehand, but they did a damn good job showing what they're capable of, and I think this is what a lot of people expected from this Thieves team whenever they first announced it. So, yeah, I'm going to say 3-0 to Boston Breach.
All right, so me being biased, because I said the bias thing about you,
yeah,
I 100% fully support you. 3-0 Thieves. Breach, I just don't think Breach has got it. They have what, Vivid, Methods, Nero, and TJ. I mean, TJ, let's be honest, TJ's ass. And Methods is technically carrying that team. Vivid's helping. Now they have Vivid. Vivid's supposed to be on that roster originally, apparently, from what I heard. Nero, I don't know if dropping Capsule was the right play. I mean, yes, Nero's been going off, but I just don't see it happening. Thieves are too hyped. I know you don't like draws that much, but honestly, like, fuck it then. I think that Thieves are going to take it 3-0. Kenny's been frying. Octane's been frying. I mean, what else can you say? Like, that's nothing else that I think that can happen there. So
even when someone on this Thieves team is doing mediocre at best, if the that person is playing fundamentally well, even if they're not doing very well statistically, and they're making the right play calls, and the other three are on are firing on all cylinders, I could see Thieves taking this chance win. So
I mean, so you get rid of FaZe and it's wide open at that point. So let's move.
honestly, even then, like FaZe has lost to a lot of teams this year. Like they've lost to in the finals. They've lost to very different teams besides Major Four. They lost to Seattle. They lost to LAG, and then they lost to Optic. And then that's not counting like the qualifiers and stuff. And then like they lost to Thieves in the elimination final. So like Thieves have shown that like they're a contender. Like from what we have seen to now, they've shown that they could win it.
All right, I agree with that. All right, so we've done the winners bracket, and now we've all moved all over. All right, so let's go ahead and start back at the top again. Surge versus Subliners. I'll go first this time and talk about, and I'll let you tell your spiel here. Surge Subliners. I hate to say this, but I don't see Surge winning this. Let me tell you why. So Surge playing great all year. They're actually really nasty. You couldn't tell me 2 years ago Surge was going to be good, but their rookies have been carrying them. Subliners, I just think that with Crim6 doing what he does, I think that Subliners beat them 3-2 or 3-1. There's no three about that. I want to hear your thoughts, obviously, in a second, but like I think honestly, like Subliners to the winners final if they beat FaZe and they beat Surge, like that's just an easy route. I think Subliners beat Surge 3-2. What do you think?
So I actually agree with you. I do think Subliners are going to win out on this, considering yes they do. Over in the Surge camp, they have accuracy, they have Pred, Sib, and Mac, and that's a good team. But like a lot of the teams that we have seen after a major win, they fall off. And I will say Pred is nasty. Pred, I think, is the best rookie, in my opinion. Um, he's definitely rookie of the year, but you can't 1v4. You could count on accuracy for a basic 1.0 and some like important kills here and there, but this team is very inconsistent, especially after that major win, because I thought that they were going to be really good, just considering what we have seen from Sib, Pred, and then we know how accuracy and Mac play. A really good team. I just don't think that they would win against this Subliner squad. This Subliner squad has a really deep map pool, and they're really good at respawn. And their search is decent, but this Subliner squad is really good at respawn, which Surge are decent at respawn, but I do think Subliners just have that edge, especially if you have Paco going off, Hydra. This Subliner squad would be or not be easily stopped. So I see Subliners taking this actually in a 3-1 fashion instead of a 3-2. I don't think it's going to be that close. But yeah, Subliners 3-1.
All right, I like that. I'm glad we agree on that. All right, now so let's talk about the next matchup, which you know that we're gonna think two different things on, honestly. So we have Thieves versus Optic. Now, personally, I know I want Thieves to win. Do I think they can beat Optic? Yes. However, like you said before, literally teams struggle after the majors, and I think that Thieves may struggle and lose this match. I just have this feeling they're going to. It's just in their nature. It happened last year. I think they started losers bracket last year, but like they're notorious for losers bracket run normally in like an 18 and Leo 4. I honestly, before I make my prediction on this game, I want your thoughts, and then we can kind of digest what we said and figure out what we think who's gonna win this match. What do you think?
Okay, so like I said, I think if Thieves are doing well, if we see in the Breach series, I think that they could take it. But do I think that they will? That's hard to say, given the fact of I mean, it's not really hard to say. Optic and Thieves have won and lost against each other constantly throughout this year. Um, Thieves reverse swept them like 2 times, I think. I know one time, but I think two. And then Optic have beat them, I think 2 times as well. So we know that either of these teams could beat one another. It just depends on who shows up at that given day. I think Optic coming off of an Ultra win is much more powerful than a Thieves coming off of a Breach win. The reason why I say that is the amount of confidence Optic is going to gain by beating Ultra, considering, like you said, and I agree, that Ultra just has Optic's number. I think Optic's going to be very confident, and I think they're actually going to take Thieves in a 3-2. But do I think Thieves could win? Of course. But I think Optic is going to win 3-2.
All right, so I hate to say this, but I kind of agree. Not like Optic's my favorite team or anything. They're not. They're like second or third on my list. But obviously Optic won a major. Thieves won a major. I'm gonna go ahead and move Optic up because I think you're right. I think Optic's gonna take that. I just had this feeling. I'll move Thieves down. So Thieves will go to the elimination bracket on the top, correct, or is the bottom? They go top. Yeah, they go top because they lost the elimination. Yeah. Okay, so. All right. Oh, I need to move Surge down too. All right, so I think Surge goes to the bottom. I'm pretty sure Surge goes to the bottom. These go to the top. All right, so let's talk FaZe Ultra, Ravens Breach. FaZe Ultra. I hate to say this, but like FaZe will probably come back, and I know how they are when they get beat. They get fired up. I mean, we saw that happen firsthand. I think they sweep Ultra 3-1 or 3-0. Like just they have to play Thieves or Surge. I'm pretty sure they have to play Thieves. I'm pretty sure. If not, yeah, they play Thieves because Surge will go to the bottom. So yeah, either way, FaZe beats Ultra 3-1. What do you think? 3-0, 3-1?
So, whenever FaZe lose, the first team that they play is always a 3-0. So, it's hard to say though because Ultra and FaZe are like that. That's a match. That's just gonna be a grueler in my opinion. It always is, even if it doesn't seem close. The matches, the games themselves are always close. But I think FaZe might 3-0 them. Maps being close, of course, but I don't think Ultra really have that ice that they did have. So I think FaZe 3-0.
All right, I like that. So we're gonna FaZe up. FaZe will play Thieves in the elimination round 2. I think that's just how it's gonna have to go. All right, Ravens Breach. I could give a fuck less about either of these teams. I'd like to see Breach win personally. I mean, I think that Methods really needs that on his resume. He's got to get that. He got to show off for the alley cat, if you know what I mean. But like, I think Breach take that one 3-2, and Ravens screw up and they get reverse swept or they get beat. Like, I just don't think that Ravens. I mean, yeah, they got Afro and they got Gizmo and they got whoever, but like, I just don't see them winning either matches. I think they get eliminated. I think that they're the joke team that doesn't belong. Yeah, they did good all year. I get that, but like, I think that the joke team that gets eliminated. And I think that like Rocker or like LIG should have took their spot at champs personally. But what do you think? What do you think?
I also think Ravens is going to get double first rounded. I do not see them making it to winners round 2 or elimination round 2. I don't see them making a deep run. Given how their LAN experience is, I just don't see that happening. So I agree. So I probably have Ravens taking Breach probably at a 3-0. Or Breach taking Ravens at a 3-0.
I also have the same thing. I agree with that. So, all right. So let's talk. We've got that far. We're on to round. We're on to the winners finals. Let's talk Subliners and Optic. This has been. I've been waiting for this matchup, quote unquote, all year. We've had it a couple times, I think. But I want to. I mean, come on. Subliners, Crim6, playing on Optic, all that beef you have with Scump and Karma and all that, and God, what's his name? Formal. Subliners is a great team. I honestly, not gonna lie, I think Optic beat Subliners 3-2, and I think they go to round 5, and I think they go to round 11. I think Optic take it. I think Dashy clutches up. I think Illy and Dashy and Shotzzy clutch up for Scump, take it to the finals. What do you think?
So this is a hard one for me. From the time we first played Subliners, Crim6 has had our number. Um, and we haven't really scrimmed them a lot. At least from my knowledge, in terms of like what I've heard from like Rambo and then Reddit, of course, and the Optic players. Um, I want to say Optic win this in a 3-2 fashion. And I am going to, but that's really hard to call considering how good subliners have looked. Um, so like they achieved what was thought the impossible. They made it to champs. So I think they're here to prove a point, and it's going to be a good match. But I got Optic going 3-2 on this one. So yeah, that's my pick.
All right, I think we'll go ahead and move Optic down. Optic to the final. Best of 9, right? For the final? Was it best of 9?
Winners final.
No, best of 9 like in the actual final.
Yeah, in the actual final, yeah.
So winners final goes down to elimination round 3. All right, so no, the winners final goes to elimination final, right?
Ooh.
That's correct.
Let's move up the two teams that won the elimination round 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then whoever lost in winners round 2 goes to round 2 in the elimination bracket.
All right, cool. All right, so we have FaZe and Thieves. I hate to say this, but Thieves on the Warpath, not Thieves, FaZe on the Warpath. I have really bad time thinking Thieves are gonna beat them. But honestly, like Thieves beat them in Major 4 twice. I can't see Thieves losing. I think Thieves beat FaZe either 3-1 or 3-2. Your thoughts?
Thieves 3-0. Thieves looked so good against FaZe, and like they beat them twice. As you said, they beat them twice. So I think this is where we see a lot of people refer to it as a FaZe dynasty. I think this is where the FaZe dynasty probably gets its first like top 6 placing, or top 8 placing. Yeah, I'm gonna have Thieves 3-0. Probably a hot take, but Thieves 3-0.
No, I mean I think the same thing. I'm biased. I'm a Thieves fan. Fuck it. All right, so let's talk Breach and Surge. I feel like should be a really no brainer. I think the Surge beat them 3-0. I don't think I think Breach get the big head on their shoulders if they beat Ravens. They could be the team that really comes back on everybody. But I honestly think that Surge beats Breach. I just don't think they have the firepower that Surge does. Surge is gonna be hungry. Those rookies are gonna be hungry with accuracy, and Mac helping those guys out. I honestly think that Surge take it 3-0. What do you think?
So if Breach's sub duo is on point, I think Breach could take this, and I feel like I don't think Breach is going to be double first rounded 2 times in a row. So I think Breach are going to take this actually in a 3-2 fashion. Just solely because I feel like that sub duo is going to be on point. We know that Nero can play on LAN. We know that Vivid is a good fit for this roster, in my opinion. It's just really the only one that's pretty inconsistent is TJ. But we've seen him in that game, in that Search and Destroy, drop 10, like go 10 kills and like 5 deaths or something like that. So I think Breach take this in a 3-2 fashion and knock Surge out.
All right. Well, I'll go with that. I'll move Breach up. I think Surge is gonna beat them personally. Those rookies are hungry, but FaZe and Surge get knocked out. Hey, that happens. It's gonna be a thing. All right. So let's talk rematch time. Thieves and Breach. I mean, this is the first round. Thieves got the best of Breach. I think Thieves beat Breach. There's just no ways about that. I think that Breach just ran out of gas. What do you think?
Thieves beat Breach. That's just how it's gonna go. I don't. I do not fathom a world where Breach beat Thieves. So I have Thieves on this revenge tour warpath, like 3-1ing, 3-0ing Breach. So yeah, I'll take Thieves on a 3-0.
All right, so that leaves us back to the the elimination final. Thieves versus Subliners. We saw this in Major 4 twice. Subliners got the best of them the first time. Thieves whooped that ass the second time to win Major 4 champs. Hot take, Thieves beat Subliners. I mean, I know everyone wants to see a Crim versus Scump final again. That'd be kind of dope. Both them trying to win another ring. But honestly, Thieves, they got second BO4 to United. I think that Thieves come out there and show their guns, and I think they beat Subliners 3-2 or 3-1 again. I think they take them out, and Thieves, and then it's like a nade shot versus Scump, quote unquote, final. I think that's what it's gonna be.
That you also have that Envoy, like they dropped Envoy, so it's like Envoy's coming back, like the Dark Prince he's here to like wreck some shit, So I think I kind of agree with you on that. I think Subliners might fall to Thieves. I don't really know the fashion though. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, we saw them play. I think personally, this is gonna sound really bad. I think that Subliners. I think Thieves. This is gonna sound. I don't think this is true, but I think that Thieves let Subliners beat them in that first series to let them qualify for champs. And also I think that Subliners probably thought, okay, well, if anyone could beat FaZe in the losers bracket, it's going to be Thieves, and Thieves beat them, and that proved a point. Because I don't think anyone thought FaZe was going to lose to Thieves again, but they did. So, honestly, Thieves are firing on all cylinders. I think Thieves take Subliners. I hate to say that. I mean, Subliners are good. I love Crim6. He's like my top favorite player up there. But I can't see. I think they run out of gas. I think Paco has a bad series. I think Crim has a shitty series. I think, just all these, Kismet played fantastic. I mean, he's been killing it since he joined Subliners. I don't think Kismet's going to be the problem. I think it's going to be Hydra or it's going to be Crim. It's going to be the problem. They got Kismet, they got Crim, they got Hydra. I don't know. I mean, Paul X. We haven't really talked about Paul X lately, but Paul X. I mean, Paul X has been frying. That man's on it. So I think Paul X and Kismet are going to carry them. I just don't think it's going to be enough to beat the Thieves. Just don't think so.
And I agree. I'll probably give it like a 3-1 in my opinion.
I would probably give it a 3-1, depending on how they're playing. 3-1, 3-2, but we'll move Thieves up, and that leads us to the winners, or I guess the finals, which is going to be. Go figure.
We're already here.
Optic versus Thieves. Now, I love me some Optic. I love me some Thieves. This would be the dream matchup. Now, best of 9. Obviously, we don't know what the maps are going to be, quote unquote, for each team. But I'm thinking, honestly, like I don't know how to. It's either going to go like a 5-4 or it's going to go like a 6-3 kind of thing. Thieves didn't start off hot against Subliners, and in that best of 9 or whatever, best of 7 or best of 9, whatever, in Major 4, best of 9, and I think that honestly, I think Thieves got the firepower to beat them. It just depends on which Thieves team shows up. Now, honestly, Shotzzy, Illy, Scump have been there. They have been champs. They have been the finals. They know how to win. Dashy never been in the finals like this. Other than Major 1 champs, I think that Dashy shows up. I want to say, I'm not going to make any predictions yet because we'll do that in a second, but Optic versus Thieves in the final, what do you think?
So we all know, usually, my boys, the King, aka Scump, has his way with everybody on Sunday and at champs. So, with that being said, I don't think Scump will be the problem. I feel like if we did see a problem with this Optic team in a finals, I probably bet that it would be Shotzzy, but I would hope not. I hope that everybody's firing on all cylinders on until this point. I mean, you made it to the finals. But I also think that this Thieves team proved that they can win in a very dominant fashion. Aside from how they started in the finals and whatnot in Major 4, this Thieves team proved that they can make a run, that they could lose, and they could still have that ice that we thought they didn't have in the first half of the season. So, like, for me, I agree this is probably going to go down in a 5-4 fashion, I feel like this whole match is going to be a grueler. Like, it's just going to be one of those long, drawn-out fights, and I feel like whichever team shows up and is more determined, has more tenacity to finish out the finals will win. But I personally think that'll be Optic, considering how many people on that roster have been to finals. Like Illy and Shotzi, they've won. They have a ring. Dashy's the only one that doesn't have a ring, but he has a top 3 placing in BO4. They did lose to Octane and Kenny. So that's probably an issue maybe, but I do think Optic might take this in a 5-4 fashion. And Scump finally gets the second ring. Dashy gets his first, and Shotzi and Illy have 2 rings.
All right, hot take. I heard what you had to say, and I think that you may be right on this. But Envoy on the Revenge getting dropped by Optic, Octane and Kenny getting screwed in 18, not winning that. Not winning. Just I don't know, man. I think they're gonna. I think that these could steal a ring out from under Optic's hands. I love to see Optic win another ring. That'd be kind of cool. But Thieves, man, just after what happened at 18. This may be the best chance Thieves has of winning a ring. I hate to say it. I mean, I don't really I know you hate Andraza for being such a shithead, and I totally get that. But honestly, at the end of the day, give this man a ring so I don't have to hear it for the next 5 years. Honestly, Nadeshot has won LCS or whatever they won LCS, right? They've won League of Legends. They've done this. They've done Valorant. It's just I'd like to see LA Thieves bring home a title to 100 Thieves, just so I can say, hey, the team I pulled for, because I was an Envy fan before this, and Envy turned into Dallas Empire, which I was a huge Empire fan in 19, or Call of Duty Modern Warfare 19, and they won a title. I was super excited, But I honestly you said Optic, I say Thieves. So now that we talked about this final, and we're coming up on the end here, let's see here. So I'm gonna go ahead and release what. So who do you said that you said Optic's gonna win the final, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm gonna reveal who we predicted to win. Sunke, aka my friend Zach here, Optic Texas. That's who he picked to win. I picked LA Thieves to win. I think that people obviously are going to think, okay, you guys are biased because you're fans, obviously a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's how they played all season. Thieves hasn't been the greatest team, but they've been there. Optics has been a great team, haven't put it all together, but almost every time. So with that being said, do you have any kind of closing things to say about this major, about what we expect next year? I know we got Modern Warfare 2 coming out in October, so I know I'm kind of looking forward to that, and I know me and you were talking about teaming together for that. I don't know if you want to say anything about that, or just want to keep that on the DL for now, or what you want to do. But I mean, let's take a minute or so just to kind of recap and talk about what you think is going to happen next year, and so on and so forth. What do you think?
So in terms of the Pro League next year, I do think there's going to be a lot of format changes, and a lot of team changes. Of course, I feel like all these teams that didn't make it, they're probably going to make some changes. Subliners, if they do make a deep run, probably not. But I feel like if Thieves don't make the grand finals, I feel like they're going to make a change. I feel like they need to, considering they only won one. But I feel like all these teams, especially the bottom 4 that didn't even make it to champs, there's going to be a lot of pickups and drops. Roster mania is going to set in. But in terms of Modern Warfare, like Modern Warfare 2, 2022, I really think that this game is actually going to be fun. And, of course, you and I are teaming, and we're the duo. So what I got to say to the competition out there is, look out. I don't know what else to say. Besides, you and I are both going to fry. And that's really about it, to be honest.
All right, so knowing that we talk about, obviously, we talk about these changes. Obviously, I would say one thing. Paris Legion is going to be in Vegas next year, so hopefully, with the new team spot, I'm hoping that Temp gets traded to like LAG or like Rocker or somewhere where he can show his talents. Maybe Clayster gets back in the league. But to go back to your team reference, honestly, I agree. Like, you're my duo. Like, fuck these kids. Like, we're about to show these kids who's boss. Obviously, if you guys didn't know, me and Sunkei went to LAN. I do have a LAN vlog coming out, so you guys will see that very, very, very shortly if it's not posted already. But you will see the stats from LAN. Obviously, like, we could produce better stats, but, you know, obviously Modern Warfare 2 2022. God, I can't English tonight. I mean, we could be a game where I role change. I could be a sub machine gun player like you, keep playing AR. You know, be a flex like I was in Cold War. We've obviously seen how that was going tonight when we played. But other than that, I mean, any final words, anything for us, my boy, my duo? What do you have? Anything else to say before we end this out?
No, not really. Thank you for having me on. I really enjoyed doing this, and I feel like we should do more videos like this. I can't English just like you can, apparently. So, but yeah, thank you for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
I appreciate you coming on. I know we talked about doing a bunch of videos, but we're going to get on that, obviously, ASAP. I appreciate you coming to do the predictions. I know we talked about doing it with more people, but honestly, like, just two of us, like, with the duo, we got to talk about predictions. We both have our teams in there. It's going to be a great time. Obviously, for anyone who's going to be out there, I believe that is my first weekend where I have, so I'm back at my real other job, but we are planning to do a watch party, I think. So if anyone's interested in coming to watch, we're going to do it in Discord. I don't know we're going to stream it from, either mine or yours. We'll figure it out. But we're going to do a watch party so people can watch along with us. We're going to, kind of see what's going to happen. But we appreciate everyone coming out to watch today. I appreciate you again, Sunkei, for coming out and doing this with me. I appreciate that. If anyone out there who is enjoying the content, please drop a like, subscribe. Also, hit up Sunkei on Twitch. I will link the Twitch in the description of the video. Please drop a follow on his Twitch for him. That man has been grinding out, and we are both playing in the WRL, which is the Washed Rec League. It's kind of like the Call of Duty Rec League, but like a little bit less serious.
More chill.
Yeah,
we're heading into we're in the off season right now, so there's really no reason to take anything super serious. So it's a good, fun, chill thing to do to take up the time while we prep for this next year.
Yeah, and like season 1 right now is Vanguard. Season 2 is gonna be Modern Warfare 19. We're gonna get Sunkei hooked up with that so we can get going with that. But we were actually teaming against each other, which I think is kind of fun. Just kind of get some, it's kind of nice to play against each other in a whole
little rivalry going on.
A little rivalry. So when we get to play in the same team, we can't really bust each other's chops too much. But in that case, I appreciate everyone coming to watch. I appreciate you being here, Sunkei, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.